Nike stocks are down 30% in just 1 month. Resellers have found new lows to stoop to. They're selling human hair now. We've had our first look at the new Travis Scott model, and more exciting Jordan retros have been announced for 2025. All of these stories and plenty more in this week's Sneaker Wrap. Hello everybody, it is me, Jordan Young, back with another fantastic banger. Every Saturday I do these episodes where we look back at the biggest news in sneakers from the past week, look ahead to some exciting sneaker releases, and just generally have a gay old time with one another. We're going to kick things off, as always, by looking back at this week's biggest sneaker releases, and this week was dead. Nothing dropped this week, at least nothing of any particular note. I did, however, take receipt of a couple of releases, the Air Force One linens and the SB Dunk Low Trocadero Gardens, both similar kinds of shoes. I want to say there's a bit of guava and a bit of pink action going on. I did do a couple of reviews on these sneakers. I do think they are really nice, and if you guys want to go and check those reviews out, be sure to click on the videos above. Let's get into the news. I want to start off with this story here that you guys might have seen earlier in the week. It's the reports that Nike stocks are down 30%, which is massive. This came off the back of a recent earnings call where projected sales forecasts were not looking too good. Now, just because share prices are down doesn't mean Nike are going broke. Their market share is still massive at $113.85 billion. They're still the big fish in the water. They're still the behemoth. And there are, of course, a number of reasons why this is the case. It's an interesting topic, and without wanting to spend too much time talking about it here, let me know if you guys want me to do a video talking about the fall off in Nike performance recently. I'll be happy to make that video for you guys. But yeah, what do you think? You guys got any thoughts on why? Feel free to let me know. Staying with the swoosh, Nike resellers on Amazon have been put on notice because Nike are set to return to the platform. According to Raf Kicks, Nike plans on resuming sales on Amazon imminently, also anticipating that it will become increasingly challenging to get ungated on Nike products on Amazon. An ungated product is a group of products that don't require sellers' special permission from Amazon to sell. Or in other words, there's no gates in place. And so if Nike and Amazon collude together, it looks like reselling Nike products on Amazon isn't going to be possible unless you get special permission from Nike themselves. It's the end of an era to one of Nike's biggest what could have been stories. That's right, the Nike Adapt is no more. They have been put into retirement. The app is no longer going to run as of August, and they put out a presser this week saying that they're no longer going to be producing Adapt shoes. I do remember that era. I do still have my Adapts. They are up in the loft. I don't wear them that much, but it is a pretty cool piece of history. Did you guys ever get on the Adapt wave? Feel free to let me know down below. Reselling human hair, that's what's going on. If you guys were online this week, or if you're a fan of the streamer iShowSpeed, you probably seen that he was in Norway this past week as he's doing some kind of big tour. And during his time in Norway, he got held up at some kind of hotel or something. He was playing up to the crowd. He hit the suey, and then when he dropped down to celebrate the raucous reception he got, he actually rolled his ankle. I think he rolled it quite badly as well, because he ended up having to be carted or carried out of the hotel to his car that was waiting in amongst this sea of fanatical 14-year-olds. And when he was being carried to his car and set to be put in it, the crowd just kind of mobbed him, and people were jumping on him, people were clawing at him and grabbing him and pulling on his shit, and someone even ripped out a lock of his hair, which is now being sold with video proof on eBay. And the latest bids, I'm not sure if these have sold already, but there seems to be like two auctions: a buy now price for $1,700 or a latest bid of something like $300. But the auction would have finished by now, I'm sure. So yeah, what the heck is going on? So this story isn't so much sneaker related, but it is kind of interesting. Dior apparently, according to this expose, only spent $57 to produce their luxury Christian Dior bags. And this probe also extended to Giorgio Armani contractors, and the luxury company was accused of not properly overseeing its suppliers. So judges in Milan have ordered units of both companies to be placed under judicial administration for 1 year. So if you or anyone you know have paid up to $3K for a Dior bag recently, consider yourself gotten. But we're not that far off in the sneaker world, are we? A lot of these sneakers don't really cost that much to make. Something like 40 or 50 bucks per unit is what I've seen the total cost. And so to then essentially go out and pay $1,000 for these is also taking a bit of an L, but we do it because we love the sneakers, isn't it? Isn't it? Bro, the obsession with chrome hearts is getting a little bit out of hand. You guys might have seen this past week that Offset is trying to sell some of his chrome jeans, which have been valued at something like $100,000. Bro, am I missing something here? Are these inlaid with some kind of like golden stitching, or is there like 95k in the back pocket of these? I don't know, man. Like, the chrome stuff is getting a little bit wild. I'm not sure what's going on here. Let's jump into some Travis Scott news. You guys might have seen this past week he gave a fan a pair of his Mocha Jumpman jacks that are going to be coming out in the very near future, which was pretty cool to see. And we also had our first look at his Travis Scott sharkidons, which we have seen him wear in the past, and we've also seen a few different colorways of this model leak out already. I personally like this model a little bit more than the Jumpman jacks, although this particular colorway here in this all cream or all white colorway, I'm not as keen on. The materials do look good. They kind of look like a bit of a sock darts meets Spiridon type concoction. I feel like if these weren't a Travis Scott sneaker, we wouldn't even be talking about these. What do you guys think? I do think the model is nice. I don't think it's bad or anything. It's just this colorway to me isn't really it. We also saw this week a new model of the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 RM. We have the green pair to look forward to, and we're going to share some official images in a second, but we saw this other darker colored pair, this black pair or this charcoal type pair, shared on Little Yachty's Instagram stories, and these, I gotta say, are looking really nice. What do you guys think of this model? I do like the Nigel Sylvester collab, even though it is pretty much the same as the regular inline RM. There's just something about this slightly elevated use of materials that I like. But staying with the RM, we've also seen another colorway release that's set to come out sometime next year, which is very much based on a very recent, very familiar, and very successful Air Jordan 4, the SB. And so the question that has been doing the rounds is this a little bit lazy from Nike to just be basically taxing this colorway from an already successful shoe and then plopping it on this new model to drive up some hype? I do think the colorway works. There's no doubt about it. This color blocking is awesome. The shoe is absolutely brilliant. I think if you've got a pair of these, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But I do get the criticisms. This is a new, exciting model. Usually when you wheel out an already successful colorway on a model, you do it when it's on its last legs or when it's on its way out, not when it's just coming in. Is it lazy? Yes. Are they nice? Yes. And finally on the RM, these are the official images of the Nigel Sylvester Air Jordan 4 RMs. These are set to come out on July the 20th. It's going to be a Nike sneakers release as well as your normal tier 0 retailers. I'm not sure if it's going to be like a skate shop thing, even though I know he's a BMXer. I'm not sure if the skate shops are going to get these, but the retail price is kind of nice though, at 150 bucks. I feel like that's a little bit more reasonable. And I could see these being really popular, man. I can even see these reselling for a whole bunch over, depending on how limited they choose to make them. But definitely a sneaker this month that I am looking forward to, even though I don't expect a cop. What do you guys think? A little bit of New Balance news. We've had our first look at the New Balance and Size collab. This is on the 860 V2. It's a nice colorway, kind of got the whole ice cream Neapolitan vibe with some chocolate, some vanilla, and some strawberry. They kind of look a little bit similar to the ALD 860 V2 that we had somewhat recently. No release date information on these, but I think they look pretty nice. What about you guys? The final release for the Action Bronson New Balance 1906Rs are set to come out this week, July the 12th. There's going to be a New Balance website release for the two colorways, the Mezul or the blue colorway, as well as the Rosewater colorway. Both very nice shoes, both releases that I've missed out on up until this point. I wouldn't mind getting a pair of the Rosewaters, to be honest. Really nice summer colorway, although there hasn't been a summer to wear them in so far here in the UK. But if you wanted a last-ditch chance to get your hands on these, you can battle the bots on July the 12th. And we've had a sneaky on-foot look of Action Bronson's next collab with New Balance. These are the Minimus Trail shoes, and we just saw some very sneaky images from Action Bronson himself in recent times, just showing some partials of the shoe. They kind of have this blue colorway, but according to these images here, we can see them on foot, and they look pretty cool. They do look like they would be a really comfortable shoe to go trail running in or hiking in, so I do like them for that aspect. They've got what looks to be a little bit of mesh action with some honeycomb underlay and maybe a little bit of synthetic mesh around the toe box. They do look pretty robust. Nice blend of functionality and a little bit of hype coming from Action Bronson, so I'll be looking forward to seeing some more images of these. But Action Bronson, he's doing the business right now, man. Now miumiu and New Balance are teaming up on a mule collaboration, and bro, get this, these are going to be retailing for $1,120. And the shoe is based on the 530. It's basically just had the heel chopped off and it's been converted into a mule. Look, I'll give them this. They do look comfy. Quality does look good. I mean, these look like the type of shoe that you could run the shit out of an errand in. Taking the garbage out, picking up shit in the garden, grocery shopping. And if you don't know who miumiu is, they are the sister label to Prada. So that's why these are coming in at that elevated price point, and that's why there's a little bit of excitement out there among probably more the fashion MFs than the likes of you and me. No release date information available, although I'm sure you're not probably all that fussed about it. Let's move on to the next one. Okay. Joe Freshgoods has teased another New Balance collaboration, this time on the 990 V6. No release date information on this particular shoe. The only image that we've got to go off at the moment is this image that he posted on Instagram, where you can see the box or the boxes, and then you can also see this blue pair which is featuring all in blue. And I guess if the box matches the shoes, we can see from the boxes here, or we can deduce from the other colored box what the other color shoe may well be. Now, one thing that New Balance are doing quite well at the moment is they're taking some of their best performing sneakers and they're rehashing them, or they're giving us some new looks on them, particularly with the 1906R. This has been one of their best sneakers over the past couple of years, but they're giving us new riffs on them, including these, the 1906 U's, which in this instance are a collaboration between Invincible and In Hollywood. I don't know who these cats are, but they've come together to put together this gray Titan colorway, and these look really nice. And these are actually going to be releasing pretty soon on July the 13th. So the Air Jordan Retro releases for 2025 have been going bananas over the past couple of months. And this week we've had another banger added to the list, and that is the Aqua 8s, which are set to come out in 2025. Very cool shoe, my own personal favorite Air Jordan 8s. I remember having the 2007 pair, which had the more matte finish on the aqua tones on the side of the shoe. Very cool shoe. You guys might remember the Kanye epoch when he was rocking out in the Air Jordan 8s with the straps all undone, looking all loose and bulky. Very cool times. I'm excited to have these ones come back, and I think among the retros I've seen set to come out next year, these will definitely be up there for me because I don't have these in the collection at the moment. What do you guys think? Now, I don't want to say that Nike aren't innovating at all. We are seeing some new models, including these, which I think are pretty cool. I do like the look of these. These are the Nike Jams, which is a breakdancing sneaker, and you know they're trying to give it a little bit of a jump start when we get announcements of a collaboration, and particularly with a highly successful collaborative partner like Futura. So these are the Futura Jams. Now granted, there's not much on the outer of the sneaker to give away that it's a collab. It's really just the liner from what I can see, which seems to feature some of Futura's art, but I do like the silhouette of the sneaker. These do look like they would be really comfortable. They look like they'd be really breathable as well with the mesh on the outer. This is one new Nike sneaker that I'm actually looking forward to maybe trying out this year. What do you guys think of these? Then our first look at some new Kobe's, or some new old Kobe's. These are the Kobe 9 Elite Protros in the Halo colorway. You guys know the Halo is one of these series of Kobe Nikes that features this predominantly all white colorway, and these are actually coming out quite soon. These are supposed to be coming out in August. $240 is the retail. And look, man, if you're not playing, if you're not hooping in these, if you're not riding a motorcycle in these, or maybe doing a WWE match, I don't think these have any business being worn by anybody. We've got another new Nike SB collab to look forward to this year. These ones are in collaboration with Nicole House, who is a goofy skater, and these look, I don't know, man, they're pretty underwhelming, I've got to say. These kind of remind me of those fake Nike Air Force Ones from the early 2000s. The standout feature, at least from a casual rocking standpoint, is this little chain or bracelet thing that hangs off the side of the shoe and has a little attachment on the heel tab. tab to connect to. Obviously not particularly pragmatic for skating, and yeah, I'm not overly impressed by these, I have to say. There's nothing wrong with them, they're just a little bit plain Jane, a little bit boring. So we've had some updated, better looks, including some on foots of the Travis Scott Air Jordan 1 lows, which are supposed to be dropping next spring. This is this all velvet brown colorway, and last week we saw some pretty stink images. They didn't look very clear, and so I was writing them off. And now that we've got some better images, I can certainly say that these look better. These look nice, these look fine, but they're still kind of underwhelming for me. Probably, maybe next to the Canaries, the worst Travis 1 lows. I feel like this would be a nice option if maybe you were going somewhere that needed a slightly more understated type look, or you maybe wanted to get away with some sneakers that almost look a little bit like brogues. But yeah, the Air Jordan 14 Ferraris are set to come out in 2025 as well, and apparently they're going to be coming out in a full family size run, so even the kids can get involved, even though it's going to cost a lot of money to buy these for your kids given where the prices are going at the moment. So Dion Point from Concepts has shared a couple of pretty interesting new collabs. One of them on the recently spoken about right here 1906U from New Balance. There's even an Asics out there as well in the form of this gel Kayano 14. I think these Asics joints look pretty cool. They've got like a little bit of a Caribbean theme to them. I don't know. Must cop? Nah. Rightio, let's finish off today by talking about some of the biggest sneakers upcoming this week that you guys might want to keep an eye out for. And I think it's another pretty dead week, to be honest. On July the 10th, you've got the Nike and Union collab on the Field General. Now this is, I think, the wider release that is not going to be going down exclusively on the Union website, but the truth is these have been sitting on the Union website, and so I feel like this is the shoe that no matter where it comes out, you should just wait for these to go on sale further down the line. Because July the 10th, you've got the Air Jordan 1 High OG First in Flight, very nice colorway. July the 11th, you have the Nike Air Max Sunder. Now I feel like this is one of the shoes that Nike are sort of pinning their hopes on is going to catch on a little bit. This colorway is really exciting in this orange. They've got these other really bright and vibrant colors that are going to be coming out periodically throughout the summer. I do think these are going to be quite popular. And that is it for this week's sneaker wrap. Thank you guys, as always, for taking the time to watch the video. Really appreciate your support on the channel. Do me a favor and hit the like button before you bounce, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take care for now, and peace.